Intro: the hidden truth about daily masturbation. What really happens if a man masturbates every single day? Most men do it. Studies suggest over 80% openly admit it, and the actual number may be even higher. Yet, despite being so common, it's surrounded by myths, guilt, and unanswered questions. Some say it weakens your penis. Others claim it boosts your health. But science and psychology reveal a far more complicated reality. Today, we're breaking down exactly how daily masturbation impacts your penis, brain, emotions, and even your relationships. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll learn in the final section might completely change the way you look. At this habit 1, masturbation as exercise for your penis. Think of your penis like a muscle it needs blood flow to stay healthy. Each erection pumps oxygen-rich blood into the tissues, keeping them flexible, elastic, and responsive. In fact, some urologists compare erections to a workout for your penis. Without regular stimulation, those tissues can lose elasticity, potentially leading to weaker erections over time. But here's the catch. Overdoing it, especially with aggressive or repetitive habits, can cause short-term numbness or reduced sensitivity. Your brain begins associating pleasure with one specific type of stimulation. And when that happens, real-life intimacy can feel less exciting or even disappointing. So the key lesson? Just like the gym. Consistency is healthy, but overtraining causes problems too. The brain chemistry connection: every time you orgasm, your brain floods with chemicals. Dopamine, the pleasure-reward oxytocin, the bonding hormone, serotonin. The calm and sleep signal, this chemical cocktail creates that relaxing afterglow. But if you masturbate daily as a way to escape boredom, stress, or loneliness, your brain can start relying on that shortcut too often. Over time, dopamine receptors may become less sensitive. This means the same old videos or fantasies don't excite you anymore. You may crave more extreme content, longer sessions, or even multiple sessions a day just to feel normal. Psychologists call this reward desensitization. It's not a clinical addiction, but the pattern can mimic addictive cycles harder to quit. More extreme behaviors and less satisfaction from real intimacy. The truth? Your brain rewires itself based on repetition. If your main reward loop is pornography or solo pleasure, real human connection can lose its spark. 3. Busting the shrinkage myth. 1 of the most popular myths is that daily masturbation shrinks the penis. This is 100% false. There's no scientific evidence that size, strength, or shape is affected by masturbation. Your penis doesn't have muscles that wear out. What can happen is temporary redness, swelling, or soreness if you go too hard without rest. Extreme cases, men even report mild numbness, which usually goes away after a short break. So while your penis won't shrink, your experience of pleasure can change if you don't practice moderation. 4. Emotional impact, confidence, or guilt. For many men, masturbation is a stress reliever. It releases tension, lowers anxiety, and even helps with sleep. But psychology shows it can also backfire. Men raised in strict or judgmental environments often carry guilt after masturbating. They feel shame, weakness, or fear of being caught. Over time, this guilt can erode confidence, create anxiety in relationships, and even lead to avoidance of intimacy. The habit itself isn't the enemy, it's how you frame it. If masturbation becomes your only coping mechanism for loneliness, frustration, or stress, it starts controlling you instead of you controlling it. Point 5. Relationships and real-life intimacy here. Where it gets deeper. When men rely too heavily on solo stimulation, especially with pornography, the brain learns to expect unrealistic scenarios. Perfect lighting, endless variety, exaggerated reactions. Real partners can't compete with that kind of artificial stimulation. As a result, many men experience performance anxiety, reduced attraction to real partners, or difficulty maintaining erections during actual sex. Psychologists call this porn-induced erectile dysfunction, and while it's reversible, it can be devastating for self-esteem and relationships. 6. The hidden benefits when done right now. Let's be fair, daily Masturbation isn't always negative. When practiced mindfully and in moderation, it can improve blood circulation in the penis, reduce stress, and help with sleep. Release. Sexual tension when you don't have a partner even help men learn about their bodies and preferences. In fact, moderate masturbation can actually improve sexual function and prevent issues like premature ejaculation because men who understand their own arousal cycles perform better with partners. The key is mindful control, not mindless repetition. 7. Signs you might be overdoing it. How do you know if your daily habit has crossed the line into unhealthy territory? Watch out for these signs. You need more extreme porn just to get aroused. Real sex feels less satisfying than solo sessions. You feel guilt, shame, or depression afterward. You're losing time, productivity, or energy because of it. You experience physical soreness or numbness regularly. If you see yourself in these patterns, it might be time to reset your routine. Point 8. How to regain balance if masturbation is interfering with your life. Here's what experts suggest. Take short breaks. Give your brain and body time to reset. Limit porn use. Try focusing on imagination or real intimacy. Use it as a tool, not a crutch. Masturbation should not replace exercise, social life, or emotional coping skills. Talk about it. If shame or guilt runs deep, therapy can help break the cycle. Remember, balance is strength. Final thought, the bigger picture masturbation, even daily, won't ruin you. It won't shrink your penis, destroy your brain, or make you less of a man. In moderation, it can be part of a healthy lifestyle, but the danger lies in losing control, letting it replace real connections, productivity, and self-mastery. Your penis is just one part of you. What truly defines your masculinity is how you master your mind, emotions, and habits. If you make masturbation a daily habit, here's what actually happens to your body and mind. Psychology, facts, human behavior. Masturbation is one of the most universal behaviors among men. Research shows that more than 80% openly admit they do it on a regular basis. But what does it really mean for your penis, your brain, and your overall well-being if you do it every single day? Let's break it down. 1. Better blood flow and sensitivity frequent. Erections, whether from masturbation or sex act, almost like exercise for your penis. Each erection pushes oxygen-rich blood through the tissue, keeping it healthy, flexible, and responsive. Many urologists even compare this to a workout session that keeps the tissues from becoming weak. However, there's a flip side. Too much or overly aggressive stimulation, especially with a tight grip, can cause temporary numbness. In such cases, your brain gets used to one specific type of sensation, which may reduce excitement during real life, intimacy too. Brain chemistry and the dopamine cycle. Every orgasm floods your brain with dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. Feel-good chemicals that create reward, calmness, and sometimes sleepiness. But when masturbation becomes a daily escape from stress, loneliness, or boredom, your brain can start craving that shortcut too often. Over time, the dopamine system may become less responsive, pushing you towards stronger stimulation, like extreme porn or longer sessions just to feel the same high. Psychologists call this reward desensitization. It's not clinical addiction, but the cycle can look very similar if left unchecked. 3. The shrinking myth. One of the oldest myths is that masturbation can shrink your penis. The truth, it doesn't. There's no scientific evidence that daily self-pleasure reduces size, weakens tissue, or bends your penis permanently. What can happen, though, if you overdo it multiple times a day, is temporary soreness, redness, or mild swelling. Luckily, these symptoms vanish quickly with rest. Point 4. Mental health and self-image for many men. Masturbation works as stress relief. It helps release tension and can even improve sleep. But when it's tied to guilt, shame, or emotional emptiness, it can backfire. Men who grew up in environments where self-pleasure was judged harshly may feel regret afterward, damaging confidence and making real intimacy harder to enjoy. Final takeaway: masturbating every day won't damage your penis or make it disappear. In fact, in moderation, it can actually support sexual health and reduce stress. The real key is balance. If it ever starts interfering with your focus, productivity, or relationships, it might be time to pause and reflect or even talk to a professional. At the end of the day, your penis is just one part of you. What matters most is how you take care of your entire body and mind.